Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
Hey guys, it's me, Steve, web contributor to 106.1 evansville.youtube.
And we are happy to continue episode 2 of the still unnamed wrestling podcast, but we've got the gears churned. We've got lots of great ideas, and we've got a name coming in the near future. In the meantime, Steve, this is the best set we've ever had, I think, with the championship belt.
Yeah.
I got a chance to see Raw on Monday. We haven't really recapped that yet. A lot has happened this week. Beginning before Raw, it was announced that Sting had hurt himself.
Yes.
You know, Sting had to go through treatment. Sting had to get an MRI. Sting was expected to kick off Monday Night Raw, but was not able to. What do you make of this, Steve? Is this a big deal to Sting's career? Have we seen his last match? Or what do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't think we've seen his last match. I think they'll probably put him on the back burner for a little while and save him for the Mania time.
Sure. Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think this is going to wind up being less severe than people think.
Yes.
There was no fracture. There was no break. I think he just kind of got shook up a little bit. Not saying that it wasn't a legit injury, but I'm just saying that it wasn't as serious as everyone may have first thought it was.
Yes.
So we went into a Raw without Sting. You said you liked Raw a lot. I thought it was just okay.
Yeah.
To me, the Raw did show a whole lot of forward movement, though. For example, we know a few of the big matches that are going to be happening at the pay-per-view just one night after the show.
Yes.
Hell in a Cell coming up at the end of October. We already know the main event is going to be The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, I believe in the Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, that's how they're making the sound.
It is, yeah. Do you think there'll be more than one Hell in a Cell match, or do you think it'll just be that one?
I think we'll probably do 2.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the other one will be at this point, but I bet we'll see at least 2.
Well, if there's going to be a second one, I would have to think it's going to be Rollins and Kane.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive about that part. We'll get to that in a second. What do you think about a rematch from SummerSlam between Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker inside of the cell?
I'm thinking maybe third time's the charm. Their SummerSlam match was much better than the WrestleMania match, and if you put it in a cell and if Undertaker can go, I mean, I think that's the deciding factor.
Boy,
that's it.
On the one, a lot of people agree with what you said, but I thought their SummerSlam match, even outside of the terrible finish, was just abysmally bad.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like it. However, I think that they've got more to prove maybe this time. I don't know why I feel that way. I just feel like it can't be as bad as SummerSlam. And I think it will probably have some sort of winner, you know, that will be announced instead of the shaky finish. The WrestleMania match, though, at WrestleMania 30, that was one of the last great surprises in this business.
Oh, yeah.
I loved seeing that streak end.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's at least one more match that's safe to call. And it seems like Seth Rollins will have his hands full with Kane for the next month.
Kane, yes.
Yeah, and okay, so here was my take on this. When it happened on Sunday at Night of Champions, seeing Kane return with the mask on, I was a little disappointed because I don't do long-term Kane feuds. I don't know what it is, but he's not been one of my favorites. I never get into his matches or his angles very much. And seeing that Seth Rollins next to you is probably going to be with Kane upset me.
Yeah.
However, this feels different to me. I'm liking the dual personalities.
Yes.
I'm liking the bipolar Kane. And I feel like we're kind of getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, the way he drug Seth Rollins to hell through the ring on Monday was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's good to see that again. There was a time back in the 90s, I think that was overdone. I mean, everybody was doing that.
You're getting chokeslammed to hell and dragged through hell.
Yeah, everybody's going through the mat, and it's been long enough. That was a pleasant surprise, and I actually like seeing the Demon Kane again.
Yeah, well, I feel like it is more exciting seeing him with his mask on. Yes. However, when earlier on the show you see him with his mask off, I feel like it loses something, but it's working for me for right now. I'm hoping it doesn't go more than a month because I can probably deal with it up until the pay-per-view, but ready for him to move forward after that. I'm a little excited. The bipolar thing is making it a bit more exciting for me.
Yes.
Are there any other matches you're predicting for the show? Did Raw lead any sort of indication to you as anything that might happen at Night of Champions?
Not Night of Champions, but Raw. I see the.
I'm sorry, I meant Hell in a Cell.
At Hell in a Cell, I see Paige and Charlotte, just from that big blow up.
Great, absolutely. And what did you think about that?
I loved it. I knew this is going to be the way that they can break up the Divas Revolution, where everybody's not involved in the same story. This is the first big break, and it's very much needed.
It needed to happen. You're absolutely right. I just wish, I think I mentioned this on the last episode, I really wish it would have happened on the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Because it made no sense for her to do this, really the same speech with the same effects and Flair and everything, Ric Flair, being there twice. You know,
Yes.
I just thought it should have happened on Sunday, personally. That should probably be a good match, I would think.
It should be, yes.
What do you think? Do you think the Dudleys and New Day will still be going at it by then?
They'll still be going at it, and I'm hoping to see a Spike in the feud.
Oh, if Spike comes in sometime in the next month, that would make me so happy. And one last question for you. What do you see happening with the U.S. title and John Cena at Night of Champions? Or is it too soon to tell?
I think that one may be too soon to tell. I may see like a Intercontinental Champion versus U.S. Champion title match.
So you're thinking like Kevin Owens again?
Yeah, possibly. And that's a far-fetched idea, I know, but I don't see anything in John Cena's immediate future, so they're going to have to build something.
I don't exactly know where I see John Cena fitting in on the pay-per-view. I'm sure he will be there, and it will probably be exciting. But I will say one more match I'd like to predict. I see Big Show taking on Miz.
Yeah.
Big Show's getting this weird push. He beat Cesaro on Raw. He's taking on Brock next weekend at that Madison Square Garden show. The Brock Lesnar, Go to Hell tour.
Yes.
That show at Madison Square Garden. So I feel like they've got plans for Big Show, and he seems to have his eye on Miz still. So I think that Big Show and Miz will be going at it. If not, I think Big Show will be going after one of those secondary titles, whether it be Cena's U.S. Championship or Kevin Owens' Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
So,
One more match I'd like to predict. I think the second Hell in a Cell, I don't necessarily think it's going to be the world title match.
okay.
I think it's going to involve the Wyatts and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose.
And you know what? I meant to mention that too because that seems like it is still full steam ahead.
Yes.
There was no resolution at Night of Champions, and that could likely still go on through Hell in a Cell. It's still very far out. The
Yes,
show's
it
about
is.
a month away still. We're only a few days out of the last pay-per-view, but those are some thoughts that we have on this past week's Raw, as well as the upcoming Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Thank you for joining me, Steve. Of course, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for bringing
As
the title.
always, yes.
For myself, the Rob, and for Steve.
Thanks, guys.